Of course, they built the empire.
Yes.
From Tata Namak to, in fact, Ola Cab, they've got funding right now.
Correct.
And aviation engines and Air India has got
Correct.
everything Tata, landmark books. Selfish motive to run a business as well. It was not free.
This is problem in India, I tell you. Indian population has not respected wealth creators.
Gandhi to ye tha, Gandhi to wo tha. You think
That
so?
is sad part of Indian media today. Who is doing all these things? Indian media.
All right, hi everyone, welcome on board. A lot of people have been asking me many questions about life, about careers. Today I'm going to talk about history of India. Sir is teaching business history, but before that, Venkatesha sir, welcome on board.
Thank you very much. Welcome to ABBS.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
He is director of ABBS, Acharya Bangalore Business School. But one cool thing about sir is, sir's son and me, we both went to the same college, engineering college, NIT Surathkal.
Great.
And sir, he talks highly about the college.
He is very proud of it.
Yeah.
And that is why he says he works for Google now.
Wow.
And he says it's all because of the
Upbringing
and the learnings what he had in NIT Surathkal.
Wow.
And then he went to Georgia Tech at Atlanta.
Wow.
And now he works for Google and he is very proud of his alma mater.
Kya baat. And before that he was in Microsoft.
Yeah, before that he was in Microsoft.
Sir के साथ एक और podcast करना पड़ेगा. We're going to ask how to raise the kid who goes to NIT Surathkal Electronics and then Google and then Microsoft and then Google.
Yeah.
So crazy. Sir, let's talk about the history of India first.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? So, you want to start with East India Company or what is it all about?
See, when it comes to India, Indian business history is very rich as India's civilization is. Once we were having 25% to 33% of the global GDP. It is from Mauryas to Marathas. You know, from Mauryas were ruling India around 326 BC when our Arthashastra was written by Aryabhatta.
Oh,
then, 326 BC around that. And Marathas were defeated around 1700. It means for close to 2000 years, India's GDP was close to 25 to 33%. Of course, there are critics who says that India's population was also 33% of the global population. Those days also. Of course, keeping that aside, one thing every MBA student should know is that he should know business history of India to understand India better. And one more thing is that lot of new things we have done, nobody has done. See, how many MBA students, forget MBA students, how many Indian management professors know about, Virji Vora? How many of them knew about a man from Patna, right? And he is popularly known as the financier of the Mughals.
Oh.
And he is the man who had built a global empire.
Wow.
And you see, of course, Virji Vora is from Surat, right? And lot of instruments have been developed in India. For example, Hundi was a great instrument. Nobody knew in the world as how to, it is like a bill of exchange of today.
Oh, okay.
And you see, Europeans came to India and lot of British agencies came to India, and great Indian business is built by, some of them are freedom fighters.
What?
See,
really?
For example, you take, Gunisham Das Birla, GD Birla. He was a great sympathizer of Gandhi and he was also into Indian freedom movement in one way or the other.
Oh.
And he built Birla Empire today.
The whole Birla,
the whole Birla Empire today, and what you call today the Aditya Birla, Kumaramangala Birla, and all these people are the
freedom fighter.
Yeah, he was into freedom movement, and he was a big donor to Indian National Congress.
Wow.
And what we should know is that Indian business cannot be separated from Indian civilization. See, Parsis you take for example. They came to India, say around 10 BC.
Okay.
Almost 1200 years back. And what a minuscule population. Look at their contribution to India's economy today.
Crazy, the Tatas of the world.
Tatas of the world, Godres of the world, Ponawalas of the world, and lot of people are there who contributed such a big way to the Indian business.
But So, don't you think they were end of the day businessmen? With due respect to Tatas, of course they built the empire.
Yes.
From Tata Namak to, in fact, Ola Cab, they've got funding right now.
Correct.
And aviation engines and Air India, what
Correct.
everything Tata, landmark books,
Yeah.
they are there. But don't you think there was a selfish motive to run a business as well? It was not free.
I don't understand your concept at all. See, whether you do for your selfish motive or for building an empire or building an organization, if it creates employment, if it creates wealth, if it improves the standard of living of the people, if it improves the GDP of the country, if it improves the per capita income of the country, if it avoids import from other countries, and if we can improve more exports, what else you want from them?
Fair deal.
Yeah, they may make profit.
Yeah.
They may, I mean, they may build an empire. They build empire for whom? It is for the country.
Superb.
At the end of the day, the capital of, India, that is what Peter Drucker says. A businessman cannot afford to make loss, because if he makes loss, he eats up capital, which is not his.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, what you have to do is you have to make profit. If you make profit, you create wealth. It leads to development. It leads to growth. It leads
Very
to
well
employment.
In that turn, I make profits, and people hate those guys because they got money.
This is problem in India, I tell you. Indian population has not respected wealth creators. I give an example to you. I am great critic of what is happening in the country. How many Bharatratnas you have given in India so far? How many of them are for business people? Believe me, you have given one Bharatratna to D.R.D. Tata. Not even, no second Bharatratna. I mean, I can give list of hundreds of people who brought changes to the lives of the people. Look at Verghese Kurian.
Yeah.
Say Amul man. How many villages he has transformed? How many families he has transformed? He built NDDB. He built Amul. He built a cooperative movement.
He built economy of India when it was nothing.
Nothing. And he brought a white revolution, Operation Flood, what you call.
They say, from 1948-49, after independence, our constitution was done. We were very sacrosanct about don't touch us. We don't want foreign investment because somebody has ruled us.
Correct.
Yeah. So I give this example to everybody. So, say for example, in Bombay, in my house, एक वो दूध वाला आता है, वो bread देने भी आता है, दूध भी, वो bread वगैरह सब supply करता है, right? So I just compare with East India company, and he comes to me every day.
Correct.
He sold me that bread, दूध, अंडा, everything for about 2 years.
Correct.
Then he said, "Sir, मैंने iron का भी business खोला है. I'll take your iron वाला." Okay, very good. I give him iron business. Then he said, "You want vegetables? I can give you vegetables." Then I went to holiday to Punjab, and I come back and I see he's sitting on my bed and sofa. And he said, "This house is mine." That's East India Company, what they did to us.
No. You see, one thing, you have to allow him to do business with you as long as it adds value to you. If you give key of your house and ask him to sit in the sofa, it is your problem. If East India Company has done that, it is because of our weakness. And we have to keep people, in place where what they deserve and where they deserve.
But sir, we had nothing. I neither had bread. I had some money. He had more money. He was a business guy. He had more money. And he showed me, like, if you start eating egg, your protein is going to be sorted in the body.
Correct.
And he started showing me, if you start wearing a nice coat, it's going to be ironed. And I said,
No, you see.
That's what was done to me.
Don't this is the problem with the socialistic attitude. This is problem with communistic attitude. The problem is here, you see, we have burnt our fingers, but it is not that we should not grow. We should not respect who create wealth. We should not respect who create profit, who build empire.
But that happened, sir, from 1950 in the book Gurcharan Das, if you read the Gurcharan
Hindustan Unilever man.
Yeah. So this guy also says that it was a black spot in India till 1980s. We didn't do anything. Green Revolution and White Revolution. Nothing else was done. No machinery, no imports, no export, because somebody has ruled us.
Correct.
So the same bread guy who was sitting at my home, one day he went to Bihar.
Correct.
Because his home is not doing well. World War II happened in Britain, and we got independence because of that, by the way.
No, that is there, but still one thing you must remember is that what India was when we got independence. And you look at what all we have done. You see, we built IITs,
Yeah.
we built IIMs, we built public sector, and we made self-sufficiency in food, milk, and we could export so many product to other
Yeah,
countries.
tea, jute, you name it, yeah.
And name anything. And we built Indian corporate could go and acquire companies in the West.
Yeah.
Say Tetley was brought, Land Rover was bought, and lot of brands were brought outside India. And it is not that, yes, we could have done something better than what we have done. That scope was always there. But we can't tell that we did not do anything up to 1980s. Yes, Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao, when they brought LPG in 1991, that was the, what is that, a flashpoint in Indian economy, which brought all together a new shape and it transformed Indian economy in a big way.
I feel very bad for Manmohan Singh. I had deep respect for this guy. He came to our school in the early 90s, and he gave a speech. I still remember, and that time we didn't understand what economics is.
Correct.
But he's the most learned, man.
He's a statesman. He's a statesman that way, and because that time India did not have any.
Sir, statesman kya hota hai, sir?
You see, that is what. Who is a statesman? A man who does everything for the country without expecting any reward.
Oh.
And a statesman is that who doesn't require any, big bang publicity and things like that. He's a statesman because he took the risk of bringing India out of the crisis, economic crisis. And what more qualities you expect from a statesman?
Usko bhi jagah nahi mili, sir, after his death.
That's a different story. You see, India keeps on changing and.
But I feel bad. He's going to be dissed in the history. Usne bola, uska ek interview hai where he says, the history is going to remember me.
No, history will not be very
kind to me.
History will be kind to me. History will be kind to me. No, that is, media created bad opinion about him. And
even Gandhi is being dissed, sir, these days. Gandhi to ye tha, Gandhi to wo tha. Do you think
that is sad part of Indian media today. Who is doing all these things? Indian media. And you see, when a man fought for Indian independence and a man who gave a new lesson to the world about ahimsa, satyagraha, truth, and a man who revolutionized the concept of peace, and is discarded today for different reasons. But history would again will not forgive.
Be kind to them. Sir, I went to UNESCO, the UN headquarters of Switzerland, Geneva. When you just entered, the first sculpture is of Mahatma Gandhi.
Beauty. He deserves that. He deserves that. And there are many world leaders, right? But Gandhi stands out because he is not another leader who is also a leader like. And he is unique in his own way. Because you see, at the end of the day, India did not had any other option than going for Gandhi model of freedom struggle. And that is why we got independence. And that is why we are here today.
People say like Mahatma Gandhi ne Bhagat Singh ko bhi, he let him. If he wanted, he could have saved Bhagat Singh, but he did not.
No, so many things can be told about Gandhi. See, when you become a leader, 100 things, good
would
things
be told against.
Would be things. See, people talk Subhash Chandra Bose, you could have done that thing to Subhash Chandra Bose. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel could have been made Prime Minister. I mean, 100 permutations would be there.
True.
But if you had made Sardar Patel the Prime Minister, they would have told Nehru should have been made the Prime Minister. I mean, all these things would be there when you become a leader.
What do you think? Adani is also being dissed. He could be also given Bharat Ratna. Why Tata is celebrated and why Adani is not being celebrated?
See, Adani doesn't have the legacy and is not a time-tested business leader. He is there as a leader in the last one decade. But Tatas are not like that. Tatas are there for almost 200 years. Of course, I told you Parsis are there for 1200 years. And they made difference to this country. See, at the end of the day, what is your contribution to country when country is in danger, country is in crisis? Look at COVID, what Ratan Tata did to India, and he was the first to come forward as a philanthropist to contribute to the COVID cause among all major business leaders I am talking about. I mean, there are many leaders like that. Look into Karnataka now, for example. Azim Premji, for example, Wipro man, Narayan Murthy of Infosys.
Azim Premji was dissed. He had 85%,
stake in the Wipro, and very few entrepreneurs have that type of stake in a company what they run.
85% Wipro got stake, and then now I think he's given it away.
Yeah, and slowly it come down to 60 plus something
now
like
he's
that.
giving it away.
They are giving it away for different reasons.
Yeah.
And but one thing, what point I am trying to drive you home is, in India, we have to develop a new culture of recognizing people who create wealth and who create employment.
Wow, sir.
Indeed, we are giving more importance to people who distribute wealth. To distribute wealth, where it has to come from, somebody has to create. It will not come in the thin air. And people have to create, who are creating wealth today. No, I am not talking about politics again. See, we celebrate politicians who give, that is free, that is free, and I do that. You do all those things, fine boss. Where it comes from? Where is that? It will not come just like that. And it is created by these wealth creators. But in India, due to that East India Company mindset, we still do not recognize people who create wealth, who generate employment. I am great votary of that. At least 50% of the Bharata Ratnas what we give now onwards should go to industrialist, if you ask me, or businessmen.
पैसे कमाओ और employment generate कर रहे हो यार.
Yeah, you when you are doing it legally, respect them. I say that is what they bring life. Stand of living to people.
Right.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is not easy. People say
they take a lot of risk.
Yeah.
They take a lot of risk. They are great brains, and they think differently. And they some of them sacrifice great paying career and corporate career, and they come to entrepreneurship.
Sir, I was in GE for 5 years.
You become an entrepreneur?
When I was quitting my job, my mom was like, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to write a resignation." "Are you crazy?" It's a GE job at world's 6th largest company. Back then we were much more greater than what we are today. But it was a tough call.
See, there is a beautiful book called Smart, Love, Guts and Luck. And in that book he writes, who become entrepreneurs? There are some people who are smart, like Steve Jobs, they become entrepreneurs. There are some people who are, very emotional people. They love, they put their heart into that. For example, Starbucks.
Yeah.
Right? And there are some people like you who have guts. They quit the job and they take risk. Entrepreneurs, many entrepreneurs of this genre who take risk in life and they bet their career. And if you don't respect them, how do you think India can be a developed country by 2047?
Crazy.
We have to respect. See, we all tell about the successful entrepreneurs. You know that only if 100 enterprises are started today, only 5 would see their 5th birthday. 99 would vanish in the thin air in 5 years. When they take so much of risk, as a country, are we giving enough respect, recognition to them? No. We have to do that.
Understood, sir.
Yeah.
That's a well said point. I'm going to take this home. That's an idea. Sir, moving in backward towards our history, what are the few companies you would like us to read and to learn from if you want to leave a legacy like Tata's and Birlas of the world? Or you have deep respect for these companies and say, when you are an entrepreneur, do this, do that for the nation, whichever you remember from your books or whatever you teach in the class.
See, there are many, enterprising entrepreneurs who did human service to this country. Say, for example, you must be knowing this. I come back again, start from Tata's now. See, the first 3 companies they started were Tata Steel, then Indian Hotels, then Nagpur textiles,
Achha.
Empress Mill, and believe me, all three were in revenge of Britishers. Somebody says Indians were not allowed to British hotels.
Yeah.
Then he started Indian hotels, Taj.
Yeah.
Then British Prime Minister once said, if India produces steel, I would eat each pound of steel they produce.
Oh God.
Wilson told,
Yeah,
I believe.
oh
yeah.
shit.
Then when it comes to textiles, and India's strength in the history, economic history of India was its textiles.
Always textile.
Always textiles.
Silk, jute,
Yeah,
cotton, you name
and,
it.
yeah. And what is happening to those industries? They were all shrinking, and European agencies were taking lead in that. Tata said that no, we will beat them, and we would start our own companies, and we will give employment to Indians, and we will see that wealth remains in India.
Wow.
Look at Birlas. You see, they were from a small village called Pilani. You must be knowing popular
Yes,
BITS
Pilani.
Pilani, right? Where they built a great institution, technology institution. And look, of course, there were 7 clans, and few are doing well, few are not doing well. But still, today also, they have an all India presence. Look at Kumaramangala Birla, how he is building his empire year after year and contributing to the growth of the country. And lot of things have happened. Lot of water has flown in Kaveri, even in South India.
Yeah.
Yeah, lot of water has flown in Kaveri. See, look at companies like Infosys. Believe me, all 7 entrepreneurs who started that Infosys were middle class kids. They were either children of postmasters, school teachers, and things like that. They could build a company of this stature. That speaks volumes about the industrious attitude of the people and nature of the people. And look at Wipro. See, I am told Azim Premji's father was invited to Pakistan to become the finance minister of Pakistan.
Oh.
Yes. And he said, no, I am not coming. I would do business in India. And look at an oil company could become a conglomerate today. True. And they are one of the biggest giants. And look at the contribution they made to the country.
So my first job was Wipro, by the way.
Beauty, beauty. You see, you know much about Wipro, much more about Wipro than me.
Yeah.
Then look at he is one of the greatest philanthropists in India.
Yeah.
And he gives, see, I have done one project. This is very interesting. I have to tell you this. And he contributed a lot to the growth of government schools in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, many regions.
This is lovely, sir. What's your advice to all my young kids who want to start thinking about starting up right now? They want to quit their jobs. They're 20, 21-year-old. They've got an idea. Some people have got an idea. Some people are working. They want to quit their job. What should be the stepping stone towards, let's be selfish. We want to
Correct.
leave a legacy for India.
Correct.
What's the advice you want to give to all the would-be entrepreneurs?
One advice I would give to all would-be entrepreneurs is that don't jump immediately after you get an idea. That is foolishness. You have to test your idea. You have to develop a business plan. If possible, develop a business canvas. If possible, develop a detailed project report. Most important thing, have a mentor. And if you do it properly, if you pass in all these tests, then jump into business.
Super.
And people say there is risk. I don't understand what is risk. Look at Vijay Mallya. He has to give 9,000 crores to some banks, and he is sitting in London. Yeah. You think he is crying every day, telling that, no, I didn't pay. No, I am not telling that you have to cheat and go to a foreign country. What point I am telling you is, at the end of the day, you see, you have to leave your marks. When you look back, when you hang your shoes, you should have footprints laid strongly in the history of India. Otherwise, what is the use?
Super. Alright, boys and girls, do it on the like button for sure. और मुझे comment करके बताइए, what do you think India's plan should be to become a developed country by 2047? And sir has spoken about many examples. And do you think we're in the right direction or for sure? नीचे comment करके बताइएगा and do it on the like button. नीचे comments के अंदर बात करते हैं. 2047 इंडिया को डेवलप कंट्री बनना है तो उसके लिए क्या क्या करना पड़ेगा. Thank you so much for joining in. Take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much, sir.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.